Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Astrology Victoria. Today, with your host, Tatiana. I will be discussing the astrology of the week coming ahead, starting tomorrow, Monday, April the 11th. And this week, it's kind of a mixed batch of things. However, you could probably expect to start feeling maybe more hopeful, that things are starting to move and flow in different directions, that things are being a little bit more graceful and gracious, not without certain other bumps that may happen. There could be many, awakenings happening at this time. And I don't know about you and about last week, how you felt last week. But if you'd like to leave me comments below of how your past week was, I would like to read that, because for me personally, it was an intense ride of madness. So, and I talked to many people, and people seemed to be having this crazy things going on for them. So with this being said, I think this week is gonna get a little bit more lighter, hopeful, Mars being also already further from Saturn, and it's like lots of things might be starting to open up. This is how the general feel of the week feels like. Very important month of this year. We already talked about that. So I'm going to share the screen so we can see what is in store with us. All right, how do we play this? 4 slides. Oh, okay, my slideshow is seemingly not playing. Oh, there you go, slideshow. All right, I'll move my little person. So Monday, April the 11th to Sunday, April the 17th. Okay, let's get this going. So we are now in this conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune finally perfecting this week. So we've been talking about this extensively in our previous video. So if you have not watched what's been happening in the skies, I invite you to watch what's been going on. Like from last week, I spoke extensively about it. However, it is also good to mention, if you're just new to this channel and you're like, this is the first video you see, then why not? I'm just gonna briefly talk about this aspect again. Jupiter and Neptune can bring immense hope, immense awakening, immense purpose and meaning. It's in Pisces, so it's this only happens every 160 something years when these two planets come in Pisces. So it's not like, your regular thing. Is in Pisces is different. This conjunction really brings a huge spiritual energy into whatever your higher self being is. There's a sense that there is an immense connection to something beyond ourselves that can bring a lot of truth, alignment, hope, big water. So floods can happen with this too. It could be a flood of emotion, a flood of hope, a flood of spirituality, but it also could be a flood of confusion, because Jupiter expands everything. So it depends what your vibration is, where you're at. This could bring immense confusion, like being in the middle of the ocean and not knowing where you are. However, because it's Jupiter, Jupiter always brings good things. So it's not like a bad conjunction. It's more like, where are you at in your being? So again, I discussed this extensively in previous videos, so please feel free to watch that. But this conjunction will bring more of yourself, especially people with Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio planets. This could be a beautiful time. Or if this falls in one of your angles, so your rising, your midheaven, your IC, or your descendant, anywhere these planets happen to be around your chart, is going to be the area of your life where there's being a push of please trust the divine. I think this is what it's saying. Like, just surrender. You're all good. All is well. You're being taken care of. So this week, trust your intuition. Your intuition cannot really be wrong if you're really connected to yourself, not to what everything outside of yourself is telling you. All right, so that's that. And this conjunction's been happening since March 28th, and it will go until the end of the month. This is the month for you to trust your divine guidance. And if for any reason you're being tested, like, is this really where my soul wants to be and align with, and you feel it's not, then keep testing and keep assessing with your feet on the ground. Remember that this aspect can also pull you so far out of your ground, go so beyond the illusion of the matrix that you might lose touch with what's real. So that's why it's very important to keep that still very in check, that feet on the ground, especially if you are a Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, or Pisces as well, because it could be either or, these conjunction for Pisces people. But definitely with the squares and the oppositions, I would be very cautious with letting yourself dream so big and expand your horizons so much that you don't land it in your being, that you get duped by too much of the spiritual energy, and then you're like, oh, after this then there's a disillusionment. So stay grounded. Okay, that's that. So Mars ingresses into Pisces, and this will start shifting things way much more into the Pisces realm. And again, I will keep saying this Pisces energy is the energy of dissolution of everything that you thought was, things are not always what they seem to be. Reality is much more bigger, goes beyond our five senses. And this time where Pisces is so active, especially now having Venus, Mars here, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Neptune. Oh my God, if you're not like really seeing that the reality is more than what meets your eyes and your five senses, then I don't know what to tell you. You might be even very confused at this time, or very connected, very compassionate, very feeling that there is grace. When Venus is in Pisces, which is where she's very comfortable, Venus, very comfortable. There's grace in everything. So the Pisces energy wants us to relinquish control and surrender. That is what Pisces is about. It's not about me, my little ego, what I want, this reality, it's about reality gets created from what's it's inside of me, and it's connected to something bigger. Call it the divine or the spiritual realm. So whatever you're cultivating within you, that's what will be the reality you will be manifesting coming forth. And why am I saying this? Because these two planets are still in like a trine to the south node and a sextile to the north node, meaning that there is an energy that wants to bring gifts from where your memories of your soul you've had and move you forward into a better life that has more stability, Taurus, more sustainability, more grace, more pleasure even, because we see Taurus has this quality of it's fixed. We're going to have lots of planets there because Mercury has already ingressed into Taurus. So with Mercury there, and we discussed this in the last week, there's much more of a sense of, okay, now what? It's more slow. We can have a little bit of more of a sense of like, taking care of our bodies, of our being, of our basic needs for food, for touch, for stability. Taurus just wants us to be stable, as much as Uranus is disrupting this stability for the next few years. There's a reason for it. We need to get into more sustainable situations for ourselves. So this energy, because both Venus, it's the ruler of Taurus, it's in a good placement, let's say, at this moment. She's not being challenged so much. Venus in Pisces wants to flow with ease and grace. So this week you may expect that these channels of energy open. However, it's also in your hands to do it. It's also you needing to go within, take stock and inventory of what's going within your being, find the resonance that is highest for your soul, even ask for help from whatever you believe. If you believe there's angels, ask help from your angels. If you believe there is like just an energy, a quantum field, ask the quantum field. If you believe in ascended masters, then ask ascended masters, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, Mary, Mother Mary, whatever, the divine feminine. I don't know, ask whatever it is that you believe in. Again, with Jupiter, there's our beliefs, our spiritual beliefs are being brought to the front, to the forefront. So whatever it is that connects you, if what connects you is plants and talking to them, then talk to your favorite tree. Ask your favorite tree what it wants you to connect to. I know I might sound a little bit crazy, but this is what this energy is inviting. And it's inviting compassion, love, and connectedness. It's inviting you relinquishing everything that you maybe know to be true, to access different levels of truth. Allow yourself to be open and ask in your own sovereignty to be open to the highest potential of your soul in this lifetime. And this is not like small words. Ask your soul, ask your divine guidance for the highest potential of your soul in this lifetime. And that's when these things may actually get embodied. And it's all up to you. So may you be like really connected. Good time for meditation, good time for dancing, for flowing, for not necessarily thinking too much rationally. This is not the time of super rational thinking. It's more a time to pause. Whatever craziness was initiated with the Aries energy of the previous week, like, there's this, there's that, this idea, that thing, that project. Now, my friends, deep breath in, deep breath out. Relax your shoulders, let it sink into your belly, let it go down into your feet, because your feet will be walking also the Taurus energy. As much as they're flowing with the Pisces, they're still walking with the Taurus. And your mind might be more focused on the long term, on well-being. Good time for nice restorative baths. Call in the divine feminine, whatever that means for you. I will describe what divine feminine is the capacity to open up, to receive, and to trust. The divine feminine is not going out and doing and pushing. It's falling back and trusting. It's the receptacle, is the womb, is the yin. And this time is big time divine feminine time. And this is not just for women. Feminine just means the yin, or the receptive energy. So at this time, because Venus is very active, being the ruler of Taurus and being so comfortable in Pisces, this is the time of the divine feminine. You can call it the rise of the feminine, the divine goddess within. This doesn't mean that the divine masculine, which is the capacity to act in the world, to have assertion, to go out for what you want, is not there. Is that at this time, the invitation is, receive, be with the flow, be with the receptive energy and be in that, the divine feminine is not pushy. It's not, it doesn't force us will. It is in pure grace. I don't know. And from like from Christianity, let's take this from this kind of beliefs, like Mother Mary is a figure of that divine feminine. That's in the Catholic Christian tradition. So if you resonate with that, call into that beautiful energy that feels compassionate, tender, loving, Mother Teresa kind of energy, compassion, envelopment, absolute grace, but poise as well. There is that quality in the divine feminine, that there is poise. In the tarot, it could be also assimilated to the Empress energy as well. The Empress the presence is so majestic. It's also the Queen energy, if you'd like. The Queen energy is the ruler that rules with grace and ease, and it's not forceful, it's graceful. So many traditions, you can connect to different goddesses in different traditions, like Kuan Yin, if you resonate with that, or more like Isis. All of these figures from cultures, ancient cultures, are there to speak about the same thing, the divine feminine principle. So this is your week, divine feminine principle, for men and women. This is not because you're a woman, you're just that. No, if you're a man, this applies to you. You also have a part of your being that can be receptive, that can be graceful, that doesn't need to be pushing, that can be open. And this is also the time for heart opening. Heart opening. How do you open your heart? Breathe into it. Little massage clockwise. Or press the point of the pericardium here. When you're feeling the heart is like constricted. Breathe in, press. Breathe out. Do that a few times. I will always give you practical things to do with the energy, not just tell you what's going on. These are things that you can do to allow more flow of this energy and guidance. This is why I am here. I am your Virgo host to tell you the practical things you can do to connect to yourself. And this is just a practical tool, right? Let's move on, because this is getting long. I just get passionate. So Mercury sextiles Venus also. So when this sextile is in action, and it's not just Mercury sextile, it's Mercury already coming with Uranus. So we will talk about this. However, the Mercury sextile Venus or this Mercury Uranus sextile Venus will bring the opportunity for very, very graceful conversations, lively, maybe even enlightening, especially because Uranus is in the mix. There could be lots of desire to talk with friends, to, have, a nice gatherings, talk about things that you enjoy and you love and you like, So it's a good time to be social, to be social, to be, maybe dance together, play games together, make puzzles. Great time for poetry as well. If you're a writer, sit down and say, divine inspiration, what should I be writing about? Make music. Make music if you're a musician or an artist. And if you're not, how about take that course, that online course that, helps you, maybe a writing course. I don't know. Something of that kind would be a good thing to undertake. Or if you're like blocked at this moment in time, if you have blockages around your life, there's things changing, you're having overwhelming times, well, sit down, pen, paper, write something down. Take the time. I feel with this energy that the time to slow down is of the essence this week. And that's that with the Venus, Mercury. And then we have the Venus, Uranus. And then we'll have these energies combining very potently at the end of the week. So the Venus, Uranus, wow, it's a time also to maybe meet people that are different. You might meet that one person that shifts you into a different direction, that that gives you a perspective of new and exciting things. It could be, lovers, or it could be friends that are different. With Venus, is what we love. Maybe also it's time to change your style, personal style, and say, hey, how about a little shift, be a little bit more daring, more quirky, less conventional, in your appearance, less conventional in your friendships or relationships. Maybe embrace the non-conventional, embrace that there's could be different things coming into your life, wanting to shake things up a little bit. Go and do that exciting thing that you probably would never dare do. Venus, Uranus, these are opportunities. Remember, it's a sextile. So it's this opportunity that if you seize it, you can see like, oh my gosh, this is different. Why not try that different thing out? Different approaches. And whatever areas of your life Taurus and Pisces are ruling, these are the areas where you want to try different things, especially where your Taurus area of life, where Uranus is like, hello, change this about the way you do life. So wherever this falls in your chart, or if you have planets in Taurus, like there's like, embrace change, embrace it. Change can bring great satisfaction, dare to change, and flow. You'll see that it will bring only better things. Also, you might meet people that promote this change and trust that that's the right thing. Again, stay in resonance, meaning if you do feel that something's not coherent, there's something off, and maybe that's not it. Just be open. This is the invitation. Openness. Open your mind as well, because when the Mercury conjuncts Uranus exact, there could be breakthrough, like, oh my God, eureka, So be open to receive intel from the beyond, And this is it, basically. Mercury conjuncts Uranus and sextiles Venus exact. You look at this beautiful 13 degrees and 13 degrees of this sextile to Venus, and this conjunction can mean various things. Either like, oh my God, you're channeling the freaking next level intelligent scientific breakthrough to I don't know what in your brain. Your mind can be super active. There could be like this, oh my gosh, that's what I needed to do all along. How come I didn't think of this? Because that is inspiration. It's freaking divine. It just comes from a place, from a field, a quantum field of all possibilities. And suddenly your little Mercury mind goes, poop, and it picks up like an antenna these solutions. Great time for solutions. And you might go like, oh my gosh. So pen and paper, if you have too much information, sit down, breathe, pen, paper, ask, what is the best solution for so-and-so problem? Right. Let it flow. And then you might go like, oh, I don't know. But then it doesn't matter. Maybe draw something and then, or do nothing and then suddenly observe. Boom, suddenly you're in your shower and suddenly, poof, the answer comes. Pen, paper, writing down, because you might not be applying it right away, but there might be this like, oh my gosh, this is it. There could also be a little bit of the danger of too much restlessness as well. With this conjunction, there could be so much, oh my gosh, it's so much information of like all these solutions that you could just be overwhelmed. So calm the mind down and allow the flow. Great time for channelers. And again, channeling, what can I say about channeling? Channeling is not like, oh, I'm connected to so-and-so and so-and-so. Yes, it is. It could be that, absolutely. It's the trust in that there is something beyond that actually has us and our best interest and our best evolutionary interest in its hand. And when we allow that mental ideas, your mental field to be open. That's when all these things happen. That's when you channel. So yes, we can call it channeling beings, if you want to call it that way. You can call it channeling your own higher self or higher guidance. You can call it tapping into the field of the quantum, all possibilities. Again, it doesn't matter what you call it, but if you resonate with maybe channeling a being, and that being is, I don't know, again, Mother Mary, then call it that. Doesn't matter. It's not right or wrong what you call it. It's more like, is it in your best and highest good? And is this information something that it will provide betterment for your surroundings, betterment for the people around you, betterment? If that is a yes, a resounding yes, intuitive yes, then go for it. If there's some kind of there's a no there, then don't go for it, because your intuition might be like freaking sharp with Jupiter, Neptune, Venus. Like this is a time, people. So please tune into yourselves, your highest guidance. Keep asking, please, the highest guidance. Yay. Me, I don't know what about me, but I'm telling you, where this is falling in my chart, this is exactly where my Uranus in my own natal chart is. And it's crazy, because I hope that information I am giving you will help you. If anything, I am taking my own, let's say, advice, which is let it flow through you. And whatever information I give to you, I hope this will help your life. Yeah, that's that. Whoa. Time for exciting changes, exciting people, exciting connections. This is what's happening with that sextile. Like, get the opportunity there. And then the full moon, which will be happening April 16, depending on where on the planet you are, is happening at 26 degrees of Libra. So this full moon will be kind of bringing to fruition the themes of the Aries new moon. The seeds you planted like 2 weeks ago, you might start to see what's coming up for you at this moment in time. And this full moon is patterned or imprinted with this energy that I have just talked about. However, this full moon has also this coming up square to the sun and Pluto that will be kind of taking a deeper look at it. So it has all this energy that we've discussed. Mars ingressing into Pisces means that the energy, kind of what you're going to defend, what you're going to go after, is what you truly, truly are connected to. There could be a lot of energy of, is the warrior energy within the divine. So it's like, what are you willing to go for that is really aligned with your truth, yourself, and your divine purpose? This is big. This is not just small transits. These transits could be life-changing and world-altering. These are no small words, because again, this conjunction only happens every 160 some years. So this time 166 years. The last time it happened in the 1800s. And whatever comes from this will bring art, music, poetry, beauty, grace, spirituality, divinity. And with Mars entering here as well, and this full moon has all of this energy in it, what will you be willing to go for? Mars in Pisces can feel like it has no control. It's like, I just don't know, because it's not very focused. Mars in Pisces could be a little bit scattered. So beware of scattered energy, but trust that if there's scattered energy, what we call chaos always gets you like this. So eventually the chips fall into place. And once they are in place, you're like, wow, what did just happen? That is only if you allow the process. Why? Because having this coming up Pluto square to the sun aspect within this means that there might be tendencies to control. And the ask of this square is, can you relinquish control and your ego desires? Because Pluto and the sun, it's like I'll discuss this much more when we see this aspect, but the Pluto sun is like absolute control of my ego, desires, and needs. The sun, me, the sun, what I want. And then the square is like, can you relinquish control? Or you might find situations where you're being controlled, or where you're not, power dynamics, power issues. So anybody that's still feeling that I'm in control, well, I will tell you, with this astrology, your ego is not in control. Something much bigger than you is. And allowing that to be the case will free you up to higher levels of yourself, your evolution, your personal evolution. If we all did this, imagine how beautiful we would start feeling like, to be more of who we truly are and not what we believe to be. This last degrees of the cardinal signs, it's very like, it's getting tension as Pluto approaches the last degrees. This is it. These top to bottom structures need at this point really to do this, because this is where, if you're still thinking you're up here and you have control over everything and everyone, well, you might be in for a little evolutionary surprise that will not be fun, because with Pluto comes seeing the shadow. The good possibilities about this is like the shadow will be exposed. And this is also true for government, for structures that have been, all the dirty things can always be exposed with Mercury, who wants to go and find deeply, and with the sun, because the sun, it's like you can see the biggest egos coming up right now. The big ego that comes up to say, I have control, well, that one you'll see them very clearly and you'll go, nope. And then what? They can fall. Why? Because what you have in yourself that has not been worked through will be expressed outside of yourself somehow in your life, especially in the areas of life where your Capricorn is. Capricorn areas of life will be showing where we need to make those definite radical transformations around power, around power, basically power. And it could be extremely transformational. And that is the good news, that when we do and we see the shadow, wow, we can consciously transform into the next best version. So seeing the Capricorn area of your life, where are you still holding on tight to the power dynamics? In the sun in square will be kind of illuminating that in a certain sense, right? So this full moon has all of that in. So I'm telling you, this is like a time to be in tune with a soul. That's the best advice I can give you. And relinquish ego. And again, especially for those having planets at the end degrees of Capricorn, Aries, Libra, or Cancer, this may be speaking loudly to you, this need for relinquishing control in order to be more of your divine self and less of your ego self. So this could be also part of like an ego death process. Usually when the sun is involved with Pluto, we have the ego, the sun, or the persona. And ego is not like a bad thing. Ego maintains us here doing things, it's a drive as well. The drive to self-expression. So ego is not a bad thing. When it's healthy self-expression is great. It's the unhealthy one, the one that wants to control and just impose itself. So great time for self-transformation. You'll see. Otherwise, you could be in for like I've been talking about this square to Pluto, which will be really starting to perfect April 16th. So that is, around the weekend, you will be having really this very prominent. So the full moon in Libra will be highlighting these themes. And Libra, and I did not talk much about the Libra energy, but the Libra energy is the Libra of the other, of seeing, both sides of a story. It's a very social sign. So the full moon in Libra might be like having this Libra energy, wherever that falls in your chart, be really highlighted. How are you dealing with others and the other and everything that you're doing? And I think what I'm saying about the ego detachment, or forced detachment, might be also that people, the Libra, will be showing you more of you, so you can release more of that ego need and elevate, or conversely, people in your life might be also, because Venus rules Libra, so it's the ruler of this full moon is Venus, and Venus in Pisces will be showing also that when you are in this massive graceful energy, then it shows you more of you as well. I am just saying all possibilities that just are coming to my mind. There might be much more to it, but I'm just being, again, guided to say this. So the Sun square Pluto, I do want to read a little bit about this, the Pluto Sun aspects when they are complicated, because we can be seeing a lot of this in the world and playing out in the world stage. Tendencies toward excessive willpower and drive, obsessive and unhelpful levels of ambition, qualities of ruthlessness, brutality and aggression, urges to rule and dominate others, the willful flaunting of one's sexuality, a conquering type of charisma, sexual power trips, vulgarity and offensiveness for its own sake. This, of course, is the lowest vibration of this energy that could be presenting itself at this time for you to see in areas of your life, people, or even yourself. So, and I'm not saying this like you're a ruthless person or whatever because you have, I don't know, something in Capricorn. That doesn't mean that. It's that you could maybe feel that there's tendencies, and these tendencies are coming up for release, for composting, So if you are conscious, otherwise you might project them outside of you in people and situations. And I don't know, and I'm not like politically inclined, but what, for instance, is happening in Ukraine and the war, it's like, that's exposing exactly these kinds of things, what power does and domination could do to our world, because it does not, hatred, power trips, thinking that we are better than others, that we can dominate others, that we can, in whatever part of this conflict you might understand, it doesn't matter, is that power, control only brings suffering and pain. And in the end, it doesn't benefit the whole. So we're being asked, and people will see, and people in power and power structures might be starting to actually collapse. And we might see the worst as well. Hopefully not. But if we do see it, hopefully it will bring us more into our human self, this Pisces energy that says, look, this is our humanity. You are me, I am you. All that is happening in the world affects all of us. The war in Ukraine affects us. Even if we are, it doesn't matter where we are connected in the same field of consciousness. I will feel the pain that people are feeling over there, and that might be more evident and self-evident as these structures of power and shadow and control manipulation are being shown. Yay, that's that. So with that, we have the end of our presentation for today. And I hope this week, that is crucial, I would say, in the year, and probably for a lot of you, of your life, that you really take stock of all of you, trust. And for those of you that are watching this video today, this is Sunday, we have an Astro Chat tonight. And all the information, you can find it by joining Astrology Victoria BC on Instagram, on Meetup, or Facebook. We do have all these platforms covered. So you have information about our events and what we bring to our community of astrology lovers and people who want to be more consciously walking their path. It's because astrology, that's what it helps you for. It's not only for the savvy, it's for everybody. So anybody wanting to join our astro chats, no matter what level of beginner, level of astrology you have, if you are a beginner or an advanced astrologer, we look at charts. It's free. So tonight we have an astro chat at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. We will be giving the information. If you join our platforms, we have all of the information of our events. So that's tonight, Sunday, the 10th. Otherwise, well, please join, like, subscribe, so you have access to these things. And if you need a reading, you want a reading, you can also look in the links below. You can have a reading with me and or contact Dulcie as well. And even though Dulcie's taking a little break right now, but she'll be back very soon. I've been missing you, Dulcie, so much if you're watching these. So yeah, see you all very soon. Blessings. May you be guided by the divine. Love you.